Okay, so thank you guys for coming. This is technically our call number 2. Our first one was our sort of, get to know and sort of jump in kind of thing. But so this is, remember last week we talked about bookings and getting bookings and starting to get things on your calendar. And then this week we're going to start talking about bookings at the parties, because again, we spend 2 weeks on this because it's so important, because we can't even train on anything else, right? Unless we actually have the bookings going. So I know that, we continue to talk about this momentum of the plane trying to get off the runway and get moving down the runway. And I've been really excited talking to some of you that the plane is moving and it's really gaining speed, and it's pretty exciting. So I would love if anybody would like to just sort of jump in, sort of raise your hand or let us know what you've done this week or something exciting that happened that you're really excited about. Nobody's making eye contact. Yes, Terry.
I got my elite seller status back.
Yay! But a lot of people might not know what elite seller status is. Would you like to share?
Yes. So elite seller status is a program with Pampered Chef. It's a rolling 12 months. So it's not like January to December. It's rolling. And what you have to do is sell $75,000 in that rolling 12 months, and each month a minimum of $6,000. So what that does is when you are an elite seller, you get a 2% increase in your pay. So on $6,000, it's a $120 automatic. It's automatically an extra $120. So anything that you go over on your personal sales, you're getting that extra 2%.
So good for you.
That's huge right now. And this is the first month in several months. I've actually made the income that we need for my part of the bills.
Good. Yeah. Good. That's exciting.
It's very important and exciting, yes.
Mm-hmm. Good. Who else had some stuff? Who's making some progress here?
So I had, they haven't actually booked the parties, but I've made a lot of good contacts, a lot of contacts at work just by bringing catalogs with my website. I made like little labels and put that right on the front of the catalog, and it just started handing it around, and it was like, oh, you sell Pampered Chef, blah.
Yeah, what we said happens, right? They're like, oh my gosh, I love Pampered Chef.
So
right?
it wasn't even that much effort on my part. It was just giving it to the 2 or 3 key people in the office, and it just took off. So
absolutely.
There's about 150 people in my office, so
wow.
it's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. And then through a family member, I got connected with a group of servers at Denny's. Mm-hmm. So just kind of finding those little groups has kind of helped build, since I'm new to this, it's just kind of nice to start building those clients. And even if they're not quite to the party booking level yet, I'm working on that. So that was kind of exciting.
Well, and we talked about this, that's what happens when you're intentional, Grady. You know what I mean? We were talking about that last week, but you've got to let people know what you're doing. If they don't know what you're doing, or they don't, and even for those of us that have been around for a while, just the fact that they know that you're actively working, because you'll talk to people and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I know so many consultants, but not, you don't know that they're actually doing anything.
Right.
So I think that there's something that when you're intentional about letting people know that you are working, that you're, trying to, really put something together and make some progress and getting some momentum that, that they tend to be, but that's when the word starts getting out there. So.
Yeah. And then I think just posting a bunch of short live videos has helped kind of draw people into my group page. And I've gotten a couple messages from people who I didn't even know were watching them, they're like, oh, I love these, and I know so and so who wants to, like, find a consultant. So I've made connections that way. And because at first I was like, well, not many people like it, but when I went and looked back at the views, like some of them just in a week are like 100 views, and I only have like 25 or 30 people in my group. So at least people are looking at them.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, I feel like it's small, but it's a start.
It
So
is.
that was my
Absolutely.
accomplishment for the week.
Good for you, Grady. I'm excited for you. That's a big
Thanks.
accomplishment. And Melissa, your question, I don't know about your actual business page. I know Katie has a business group, a VIP Pampered Chef group. So that's where, so people that wanted to be added or want to be part of, do you have one of those yet?
I don't have a group. I have a page. A business.
Yeah, I don't know if on your page, the group is sort of a fun place. I mean, I think that I've heard a lot of people moving
Within the
towards
business
that.
page?
Huh?
Is the group within the business page?
No.
Okay.
I've gone live from my business page.
You
Yeah.
have? Okay.
Yes,
I go live for mine and then I share it like to parties and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
So there.
And can I just tell you something though about this going live thing? 2 weeks ago, I went live in my business page, got a booking out of it. First live party since April. I did the other night, and I have somebody signing in a couple weeks.
Shannon Heath.
Right? From that stinking live video.
That's awesome.
So going live is definitely worth it.
You know, we talk about that. That's a fun activity. It's totally off the subject, but it could be because we're going to be talking about bookings from parties. There's a fun activity to do, that power of one, that, you pick a party this week, that you do, and you sort of do like the genealogy of it, like where it came from, how it, what comes from it, and, all the different bookings, the recruit leads and stuff like that, all from that one show. Which is pretty exciting. So good. Good, Shannon. I'm picking something on my forehead. Can you see? This is why I can't hide this.
I love the power of one while you're picking your head, because
Good, thank you.
You're welcome. Because I was just telling Mike, he got to go last night. He got to meet our real estate agents group of friends that I've been doing parties with. And I had to tell him how I knew everybody. And I said, really, this all stems back from a vendor event that I did 3 years ago. And I told him how I knew every person and who every person booked from and how I got there. And it's so much fun because, he was able to know these people through stories, but actually got to meet them.
Yeah.
And he actually stayed. So, I mean, because they were
But that's when we talk about a lot of this, building the relationships, that's the difference here. That's again where that gets really fun, because I know all those people, you do have relationships with them too. So that is really fun. Good. All right, who else wants to share? Nobody had anything good this week. We might have a problem if we don't. Bobby, you have
Well, I did.
okay. Go, Bobby.
I actually, got back in touch with a girl who had signed up under me back in February, and she'd gone inactive, and she's going to sign back up November 1st.
Yay!
So that's a good thing.
Good. And it sounds like she's got a different purpose too, or different little drive than we had gotten the feel from her the first time too.
Yes, definitely. Yep.
Good. Good, Bobby. That's awesome. Who else? Jenny Buck, did you do anything this week?
I
think
did. Am I
you're
on?
on-
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I did some paperwork today and got, I think, 4 or 5 or maybe 6 catalogs out in the mail.
Good.
I've had two people get back in touch with me. I'm not interested in a party, but send me a catalog. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just got my second shipment of catalog on Friday. I had someone else that I used to work with back in my previous life message me first thing this morning and say, "Hey, I need some stuff. They've had some life changes and they're out on their own now, and they're like, I need some stuff, and I know you sell Pampered Chef, so can you send me a catalog?" Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, it's that's where I usually struggle, is actually following through and getting the host packets and getting all the stuff mailed out. I can talk all day long.
Yeah.
It's the actual sitting down and doing
Mhm.
the paperwork part that I tend to fall off on. So, I got it
that's
done today.
I get that when it comes to the things. I'll tell you, Terry made me do, and she's really good at this, but she will take like one day a month and makes that stack of envelope. It's got everything in it, like the envelope with the catalogs, with the like, and you could make like a bulk, like you could make like 20 of them, and just go ahead and print off the next couple weeks or couple months of specials. So you've got them ready to shove in. So when somebody says they want a catalog or if they want a party, you've got it. You just shove it right in there. Because I don't have my Novembers out. I was just thinking that I haven't been down here this weekend, and I just came down and saw that I started that on Friday and then didn't finish that. So, but
I
so I
pick
get
how
you.
many I pick how many parties I want to do a month, and I make that many packets for the month. And I just did that the other day. I took them with me because I am vowing to not pay the post office any more postage. And I did December, January, and February, so they're all done. And it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I bet. All right, Rose, did you have something?
Yeah, something quite okay. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. We just can't see you. We lost you, but we can see.
Oh,
Oh, there you are.
whoops.
There you
How
are.
about now?
Yeah,
Okay.
good.
So I had something quite interesting happen a few days ago. Just this random person that I didn't even know. I don't know her. She sounds familiar, but I don't know her. She lives in Rhode Island. She reached out to me through, I guess my information was on Sensty or something like that. She reached out to me and asked me about ordering and told me what she wanted to order. I invited her to do a party because it actually qualifies for a party. And shocking enough to me, she didn't want to do the party, but she wanted to get the stuff. So, yeah.
Well,
I just added her order onto another party that I have going.
Did she give you a credit card?
She's sending a check in the mail.
Is it a cashier's check? This is making me nervous, Rose, because it sounds like these people that we have that do, was it a very large order?
It was about 450.
Yeah. I would worry that that's one of the scam ladies. No, this is the thing. Do not deposit that check. Because if it's a cashier's check, that's what they do, is when you deposit it, something happens that they hook themselves to your account. Can you do this, Rose? Send a copy of the email to Shannon. Shannon will be able to look at it and know how they do. Because it's, and
Okay.
the only reason I do, and it's so deflating because you get these. Well, I've had so many of them. We've all had them, and we get them. Are like, oh my gosh, this is such a great kind of thing. But it's very abnormal for somebody from out of state like that, unless they actually know somebody specifically. Like if they say, hey, I'm a friend of your so-and-so, you know what I mean? And then they get to you that way. But for them to just come to you randomly like that, it's very abnormal. Because if they went to the Pampered Chef website and said, I need a consultant, they would go to somebody in your area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let Shannon look at that. She'll be able to look at it and be able to tell you, because it is interesting when it happens. I don't understand how these people, what they're doing or how they actually do it, but that's usually their MO, is that they do with a check like that. And they usually say it's like my boss has to send you a cashier's check or something all finagled like that too. So let's look at that, Rose. I just don't want you to end up in trouble with that, but that's good for anybody here that's newer. Grady and is Gretchen newer too? Oh, Gretchen, oh, there you go. Deanna, you were sharing your screen with us.
Don't ask me. I'm just trying to figure out how to type. I'm just trying to figure out.
That is a valid thing with these, we've got crazy
people then why do Pampered Chef at all? Especially online.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, with Rose.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, because it's fewer than usual, but what's going to happen is, and I don't know, I know that we're not the only ones that they do this with. I mean, I'm sure they do it with other companies too.
Mike just got one the other day.
Yeah. Oh, Mike did with Norwex. Yeah, it's because it is online and it's not personal. But they'll do. But then what they do with that check is that you'll put the order in, and maybe the check doesn't happen, or the check somehow ties to your account or something. They do something. But the way that you can tell is because it's that's the way that you can tell, is that it doesn't make any sense that they would order from that far away with you, unless it was somebody personally that you knew.
It's usually that the check is for more than the amount, and they tell you to send back the difference, and then it ends up being a bad check. And so then you're out not only the money you sent them, plus whatever bank fees you end up having to deal with. So.
They're horrible people.
It's not him.
So you know what, Rose? We're just gonna tell them to just go stick it, and we're gonna go find another party.
I just privately sent you my email, Rose.
I got it.
Okay.
All right, anybody, you know what I'm excited about is that I'm seeing that we're booking parties. I see people, we've had a lot of pumpkins on our page with people booking parties, right? Yes? Yeah, it's exciting. Is everybody tired? What is happening this month?
We're all muted out, Anna.
Oh, okay.
Everybody unmute for a minute, and can we just acknowledge that Anna's speaking? She's her feelings are getting hurt. Everyone say, we love you, Anna.
We love you.
No, you don't do Anna. All right, so let's do that. Well, I am excited. I hope you guys are. I mean, that's where we need to keep, again, we've got to keep this momentum going, and we've got to keep working. And if you're on this call and you're thinking, well, I didn't do anything this week, then we have a problem, because again, we've got the 6 weeks to be going. I mean, we've got, we're on a schedule here, and again, you want to take the most advantage of this program and doing this as you can, to sort of follow it up. Who listened to the Stacey Turner, watch the affirmation video? Jenny, you did?
Yep.
Yeah, what did you think of that?
It was, we've done a lot in the past. I've done other direct sales companies, and I've been with Pampered Chef for a while. And we talk a lot about positive affirmations, but I really think there was a lot of updated, I guess, information, really good wording, and how to be not just more mindful, but more powerful with with your wording. And I think they had a lot of good, powerful words that can be used for many different goals.
Yeah, I agree. I'll tell you, if you haven't watched it, this is the reason to watch it, is that she talked about it like some crazy voodoo stuff. Like she said, she wrote, it was like I think she was talking about recruiting, and that she wanted to have a big, crazy kind of goal and wanted to recruit more than she'd ever recruited before. And she wanted to I think it was four or five or something like that is what three people a month. She had 3 people a month. That was what her goal was, and whatever. And so she had her affirmation, and she told herself that affirmation 2 times a day. And then some weird voodoo kind of stuff worked up. And every month she was having 4, 3, 5, and she had never recruited more than 1 and 2 a month. So like, it really is powerful. And we're talking about the belief and stuff again. We talked about that. Your brain is only going to believe what you tell it to believe. So if you tell it to believe that there's no bookings out there, or you tell it to believe that there's, that you can't recruit, then that's what it's going to believe, and that's how it's going to act. So these affirmations are really, really powerful. And I think we're going to make that, I want to make that if you have not, because it doesn't look like everybody's did that. I'm going to make sure that you have done that and at least pick one affirmation that you can think of. And a lot of times the affirmation, you want to think about where you're lacking. Where is your belief lacking in your business? And that's where you want to make your affirmation. What are you missing in your business, and make your affirmation about that. And then maybe let's work on those this week. That's what I'll just tell you now. That's what our homework is, because I think it's that important that I want you guys to make sure to listen to those.
The other part was that she was making too many affirmations, and her brain was getting all jumbled.
Yeah.
So, she said 6. She goes with 6. 6 is a good amount.
Yeah.
But, she was doing 10, and she was just feeling frazzled.
Yeah. 6 is actually too much for me. I do good with 3. Like, I can focus on 3 at a time. Like, that's a good one for me. So, but I get it. Yeah. Because that was something that she had said. So yeah, she really tells you how to do it. And if you do exactly what she says and how she teaches you to do it, it's amazing. It really does do. And it could be any part of your life too. That's what's fun about it. As well. So let's talk about this. We are still continuing. Everybody's got their notebook with their 25 contacts that they made their 25 two-way contact. I mean, that was, again, that's our thing that we've got to keep doing. And that's going to be part of your best practice. And to make sure that you're accountable to that you're making those kind of contacts. So now that we're continuing to do that, we're continuing to put the bookings on our calendar. We want to really talk about, when we have parties, when we're actually at the party, whether it's a virtual or a cooking show, that is really one of the best places. All right, Sammy, then we will talk. They're ignoring, but you're trying. Okay, so we will talk, because I want to know what kind of numbers we're looking at. Like, how many messages did you put out, and how many people actually did respond, and that kind of thing, because it may not be as bad as we think. So I want to know numbers from you. So you have to give me that, please, and we'll talk about that. But when we're at our parties, if we can think about that, we've got a group of captive audience. That's where we really can sell ourselves. A lot of the kind of people that we're reaching out to, like Brady's talking about, she's reaching out to this group of Denny's servers who love Pampered Chef. What I find that will actually get people to book parties is a lot of times the extra part of it, that relationship, or that they get to see who you are. Like, what do we talk about? There's 4 F's. What are the 4 F's of why people book parties? Fun, yay. Free.
Friends.
And food. Those are the 4 reasons why people book parties. And some people don't book them for all 4 of those. Sometimes they book them for 1 or 2. You know, that's why a lot of times when I'll talk about even a virtual, I'll say there's games and recipes and, you know, like, because there's some food involved. There's going to be food involved. There's going to be, you know, the fun involved. There's all kinds of, to be able to, okay, good. There's all kinds of, you know, just different reasons why, and you want to make sure, and not everybody, we don't know all the time why they want to, you know, book their own. But that is why we want to make sure that all 4 of those things are highlighted when we're having a party, whether it's a virtual party or a cooking show, right? We want to make sure that, I mean, we've been talking about it a little bit as directors and really trying to talk about, I don't know if you guys on my team have seen like a couple posts that I've had about the whole, like, what's so fun? Like, we are the fun party people. Like this, you know, we're doing these trainings, so we're really intentional, but we don't need to be wicked serious. I mean, you want to be serious, intentional, but it's all about fun. That's what Pampered Chef is about. It's all about, it's about having a good time. We're helping people have parties. We're encouraging people. We're making people feel good about themselves because now they can cook in the kitchen, or they see Jenny in her crazy little videos, or they, you know, Grady is doing stuff with her son. Everybody loves that, seeing what she's making on the weekends for breakfast and stuff. Like, it's all that, like Shannon said, when Shannon goes live, like, they're seeing that fun. We really need to make sure that we have that first and foremost when we're being intentional about booking parties. You know, the products are fun, you know, but the products are one thing. We want to have people book parties because then we've got a larger group than just talking to that one person. So we really want to focus on how to have that fun. And the fun, again, is getting people together. It's sharing the recipes, and the free, and you always want to talk about the free and the specials. But that doesn't mean that everybody wants a free thing. It doesn't, sometimes the products and the free stuff doesn't matter. I literally did have a woman that said to me, and I think she was the host, and she literally spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the host order, but she was going to order that stuff whether she had a party or not, because that's just, she likes to shop and that's what she wanted to do, but she wanted the fun of it. She wanted to have everybody together and get that. So you've got to make sure that you hit and highlight on all of those in your parties. So, you know, we talk about a party, and again, this is whether it's a virtual or a cooking, that you want to, you know, I know with cooking parties, what we always said, how many times do we want to talk about bookings at our parties? At least how many times? 3 times, right, Bobby? Because we just went through this outline the other night. So 3 times you want to talk about, and you want to, we'll get into recruiting, we talk about that. You always want to do about at least 3 times. The one thing I'm going to tell you with virtuals, you've got to be careful of, that you can't go by that rule of thumb, because I don't believe that everybody in your party is seeing every one of your posts. So if you're just posting about bookings 3 times, they may see it once, if that. Does that make sense? So I really think you need to put some sort of seed about booking every day in your parties. And it may not be a book a party and get, you know, all this free stuff. There's a great picture in there. I've seen, you know, just the interaction. Like, what if you could get anything for 50% off, what would you get? You know, that's a great engagement post, but it also goes right along with the bookings. But you're going to want to, I really think with virtuals that you need to be posting about them once a day. That's my, and that, I don't know, Patty, you book a lot from your, and Hoosier Bob's not able to be on with us, Tori, but with the, do you find that, Patty, that the more you post about bookings, the more bookings you get?
Sometimes, but usually it's when I end up having conversations with people through Messenger.
Yeah. Well, but even that kind of case, that if you put on, what do you want for 50% off? What would you get? And you get that list, and
Right.
now you've got something to go to that person. Hey, listen, I can get you that, you know, or that's the, you know, we were talking about that too with customer care. I was just talking with somebody else about that again, when you ask them what's on their wish list, that it doesn't matter what there's on their wish list and what's the host special coming up. If they have a party, they can get it for half off. You know, that's a big deal. So you can always make any product that they want. Again, they can get it for 50% off with a party. So just to sort of think about that, I'm going to focus a little bit on cooking shows, and then, but virtual parties, again, if you focus on that every day, putting a post in there, and then Patty, like Patty said, really having that one-on-one conversation. And whether your one-on-one conversation is somehow talking with them throughout the party, or if it's going back to them in a customer care. Because again, I had that conversation with another consultant that's not on here. She said, I'm lacking, I don't like the virtuals as much as I can't create a relationship. And because she's getting orders from people that are not even really engaged or interactive on the party. So we have that whole conversation of what you should be talking about with your customer care and how important that is and how to make that reach out and develop that relationship, because that's going to make a huge difference. So just to sort of keep that in mind as well. So, you know, when we talk about the 3 parts of a party, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're doing cooking shows, or if you're thinking about doing cooking shows, one of the things, and I think, Bobby, I'm throwing you under the bus. I know you and I have talked, but I know I've had other consultants have said that, but I know, Bobby, you and I specifically said, and I said, how do you talk about bookings for parties? And Bobby, am I right? You said, what depends on the party. Like I do it different all the time. Yeah. And here's a couple reasons why I'm going to tell you not to do that, and to have some sort of an outline for your cooking shows. But again, I think that you can take that same kind of format and move it to your virtual parties too, in the same kind of case. But one of the 2 reasons why, first of all, you're going to not say certain things. If you don't have it as sort of an, sort of a outline in your head, at least, of how you're going to be presenting it, you're going to forget and you're not going to say certain things. The second way is you want to make sure that you are duplicatable. And if you are just really good at flying off the cuff and just having a great, party that way, that's great, but very few people, you are in the minority, I think, to be able to pull that off. I can't pull that off. So for 17 years, if you've been to a party of mine, which Jenny Buck was on very early in my business, and you go to a party of mine right now, it is not very different. Recipes have changed, but my story is still the same. Everything's the same. So you want to think about your party, and again, I think you can do the same thing with virtuals. 3 parts to your party. You have your strong opening. You have which again could be the pre-party kind of part of it. Then you have your demo, and then you have your strong closing. So those are the 3 parts of your business and your party. And here's what I'm going to tell you: the most important part of your party is that first part and the last part. You could throw a freaking pizza out in that demo, and people are going to buy stuff. It's not going to make a difference. But the first part and the last part are when you're going to actually be, that's when you're really going to be talking about bookings. That's when you're going to be talking about recruiting. That's what's going to get you your continued business. When you talk about bookings and recruitings, that's your continued business. Yes, Amy Dolan.
I want to just that whole strong opening closing again. I've been with this business forever, and this is something that I know, right? But I had a party the other day, it was a week or so ago now, but I was doing the quick cooker, and I was doing the lettuce cups, which I know that woman did I can't remember her name now, the demo at National Conference, and it was amazing, right? Like watching her, we're like, oh my gosh, this is like, she had such good words. So I went back, because it's all online. If you go under the consultant corner or under National Conference stuff, it's all there. And that was one thing that I went back. I loved the way she started her party. And that strong opening, and they have it broken up like that. They have her opening and then the demo and then the closing again. So it really breaks it up so you know what to focus on there. Yeah. But just the way she presented it was a little different than I had heard it before, and I really liked it. Like one of the things that I've always talked about is the 3 ways to get Pampered Chef products. She talks about that right at the beginning, and kind of, so it was just a different way that felt really comfortable for me. But so I would suggest any, to kind of suck up any opportunities you have to see any of these experts in action with what they have to say for those openings
Maybe
and
we can
closings.
put
That's where it's
that-
powerful.
Where is that link, Amy? Maybe we can do is pull that link out. And
I can check, but I can check really quick right now, but I'm pretty sure I went to like,
is that Michelle Anderson?
yes, that's who it
Yeah,
was. Yes, thank
she's
you.
so
She was so
fun,
freaking
yeah.
funny because I still laugh when she talks about the salad choppers and calling them like having a coup of the company, and you know that she had a coup when those are no longer called the salad choppers, they're called the shredder uppers.
Yeah.
And then she cracked herself up because she never figured she would be saying this like on stage at home. Yes. Because I just never thought I'd be saying it here.
She's
Yeah,
been
so,
saying that for like a long time.
Yeah. But
Right. Well, and that's what was, you could tell that. And that's what was so funny is that it was like, all of a sudden she's like, oh my, I am actually saying this. Like,
But
like
that's
with it.
perfect. That's perfect example of what we're talking about, of saying and having it set. And again, you're not going to come right off in the first party and say, but you've got to have some sort of an outline of what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. And that's when those little fun things are going to come in. That you're going to. Megan, did you have a favorite thing that she said?
No, but I'm thinking, Amy, that's when I had my phone up the whole entire time thinking I was recording, and I never hit the button.
Well, that's okay because it's on here.
I'm so mad.
Yeah.
I'm
mad.
trying to find it. I see it says get the training in person. Okay, here it is. Okay. I'm going to, where do you want me to put this, Anna?
In the director bound.
Okay.
That would be great.
Just in
Thank
case
you.
I don't do it right, if you go to Consultants Corner under News and Events, and where it says National Conference 2019, it actually says to the right under get the training. And then there's actually there's training for virtual parties with Quick Cooker, and then there's the in-person party with Quick Cooker, and that's where
Michelle.
it's got all her stuff.
Yeah, good.
All the videos, I think.
Okay, thank you. If you could put that, that's definitely would be worth, if you missed her, you know, that's the kind of fun stuff we get. So yeah, so that is really important. And I think that she's going to give you a great time. You're going to see that in the first part, she's going to talk about recruiting. She's going to talk about the bookings in a different way. I can't remember exactly how she does it. One of the things that I've always said is I'm not big on giving them all of everything that they get right at the beginning. I'm not big on saying, okay, so, you know, Susie's having the party. She's going to get, you know, up to $200 in free stuff and this and this and this, because to me, they don't know what they want yet. So $200 in free stuff doesn't mean anything to them yet. So I always do a little teaser. Like, you know, my average host gets like $150 to $200 of free stuff. You know, so if your wish list is getting big and, you know, then you need to, you know, we'll talk about booking a party. And then, because that's what she probably is talking about. What are the things, what are the 3 ways to get Pampered Chef products? I always do, what to expect from tonight. So we're gonna cook, and this is what we're making. You guys are welcome to shop, and here's what the specials are. And then, so I'm talking about sales, and then I'm going to talk about bookings that you're going to be over yourselves by the end of tonight, because you're going to want everything, and you're not going to be able to get it tonight. So we're going to book a party for you, and the average host gets $150, $200 of free stuff. And then I tell them that, and we're going to talk about this right now a little bit as well, but then we're going to talk about recruiting, because that's the third way to get Pampered Chef products, is that you can do what I'm doing. You know, and I tell them, watch what I'm doing. If you think you can do this, you can, because it's not rocket science. I always say that somebody should have fired me in the last 17 and a half years, but nobody has, which is a beautiful thing. And that, you know, I tell them why I started and tell them my story. And if you haven't heard my story, a lot of you have already, but that's one of the things we're going to start. I want you to make sure you're thinking about. But my story, again, is that I started this 17 and a half years ago when my older daughter was born. I quit my full-time job to be home and be a mom. And I'm married to a police officer. We lived for 10 months in total denial. We could live off of his salary alone, so needed to do something to help us financially in this came along, right time, right place. So I still have a boss that I like because it's me, and I work when I want, where I want, how I want, as much as I want. I always do throw in as well, because not everybody is a stay-at-home mom. So I don't want them to only think that you have to be a stay-at-home mom to make this business. So I always make sure I put 90% of our team have full-time jobs and do this supplementally, something extra, something as a side gig, something for a few $100s extra a month. You know, and also that we have 50% of our team do 100% virtually. That's, I think, important too, that they know they can do this just with, I know Amy had a lead. She had shared with us last week that she had that lead from that party because the virtual was something really important. You want to make sure that you do that. So there's your strong opening right there. Then you get into the demo. You know, there's all kinds of fun. If you look through the consultant, there's the party outline cards that we all got when we started. I know we can download them if you go under new consultants and stuff, and it has the different recipes, and it sort of takes you step by step of what to talk about. But it'll talk about peppering these little one-liners through your party about about bookings. And so I never have trained on those corny little one-liners, because I would never say those corny one-liners. They're just not me in there. But here's a big, just an easy thing, and you could do this in the virtual parties when you're talking about your power tools, your big stuff, to say this is a and just like Michelle, that is something Michelle did about the products that were in the kit. That was a really, like, this is in the kit, just so you know. And I did do that when we came home from conference, and that was really very effective. But to take a product and you're using your quick cooker and say, listen, now if you don't want to pay $240 for this, next month, you know, we could have a party and you could get it for $120. You know, like being able to just to throw those little things when you're actually working with the products, that will make a big difference. And that's how you can talk about bookings. And then you go into the end, and then your last part. You can't just finish booking it and feed them and then say, okay, thanks for coming. Like, now they want, this is the time you want to tell them, because now they know what they want. They've just fallen in love with all kinds of products. Now's the time that you want to jump in and you know, and talk to them and, you know, and share again. Okay, so here's the nitty gritty here. Now you know what you want. If you want to spend money, that's fine. If you want to save money, here's what my hosts get. And if you want to make money by getting this stuff, you could definitely do what I do. So just to keep, that's where we go. You always, when you're doing a cooking show, and again, you can work these in with your games, want to do some kind of a game where they're asking questions. We've talked about, just so you guys know, we'll talk about more as we get later with the recruiting. We'll talk about the ticket activity, but I always do the tally game, which you found that, Bobby, didn't you? Yeah, so that's how long I've done the tally game, is I have it memorized. So I don't even need the paper anymore, because I've done the tally game for how long, Jenny Bob? Forever.
Forever.
Ever. So, but again, it just gets some questions and do this. I'm going to share my screen and show you something that's pretty important. Why you need to be concerned about booking parties at your parties. Okay, here's what's really important. This is the number that I want you to think about, and some of you have heard this before, that your goal needs to be that you book 2 parties per party. You're not through till you book 2. That has got to be your focus, your like go-to. And I'm going to show you something of why. And again, you guys have seen this before, a lot of you, but it's so important. I have it here in a document. Can you guys see this okay? Everybody see it all right? Okay. So this is what, look how interesting this. So this column is if you book 2 bookings from every show, this is when you have 1 booking. Remember we talked about that percentage, how many you book will actually cancel. So let's say you're starting right now with this and you book, you're at your month 1 and you book, you have shows dated. Let's look if you only book 1 show dated. You have 2 cancellations. That means you only have 4. And if you go to each one of those 4 and you get 1 booking, you get 4 shows. You go to your next month, those 4 shows there or here, you lose 2, so you only hold 2. You get 1 booking, there's 2. What? Month 3, you had 2 shows booked, but you get 2 cancels. 2 are going to cancel. That's nothing. Nothing to nothing. You're out of business. That's what's going to happen. Whereas if we go to 2 bookings from every show, 6 show, you've got your 6 shows dated, but you can see how you've got 1 show will replace your other show. Your second one will have you grow. That's the one you want 2 out of there. So that's why this is so important with that. So here's we're going to finish this up. And so we've talked, and just again, if we get anything but the importance of booking from our parties, and that's why when we're talking about our tracking, on our tracking sheet, remember with your 90-day tracker, when you've got your party, you're going to put how many parties you booked from that. You've got to know. You might be going, oh yeah, I book really good for my parties, but we might go through and you only have an average of 1 per party, and that's a problem. That's going to be a problem in the long run, that we're not going to be moving along as quickly. So here's what we're going to do for our homework for this week. We still need to keep up with our 25 two-way conversations. If you're having an issue with that, let me know and I can help, because we can talk about and do some brainstorming of who should be on that list. But here's the cool thing is we can look at, if you're saying like Sammy's having problems, I want to look at and say, okay, she contacted 20 people and maybe only 8 got back to her. So now we know if she needs it to be 25 and 8 out of 20, we can do those numbers to say, okay, we need to be contacting a lot more people. That's really what it is. Shannon, what is happening there?
Like they ignore her all day or something.
I know. She's being attacked.
It's her and Bentley. They hear your voice and just run for it.
They miss me.
They do.
So we're going to talk. So we've got to be doing that 25. And I want to make sure that you guys are all effective at doing that. So that's that. If you haven't watched the Stacey Turner video, we'll put that back up. I want to make sure that that is something right in front too, that you guys have. Oh, look at Deanna. There's another little dog that wants to see me. No, nothing.
No,
And then,
the dog is so tiny.
He's so cute.
And he's adorable.
Right up on her chest. Hi, baby.
His name is Bear.
Bear, what are you doing, Bear? And then but the other thing is I'm going to give you, we've got Amy, what did we do, Michelle Anderson? There's another thing here, and another one. Well, I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2 videos to look at. But if, I think that either one of them, but I mean, again, the homework and stuff, it's not busy work. So it's just sort of continuing it. So please look at your month, your week right now before you go to bed. Just look at your week and schedule the time that you're going to work this week for Pampered Chef. That's what I would do. And whether it's 5 hours on Saturday, that's fine. But or if it's 1 hour every night or whatever it is, do that before. That's a good planning thing for Sunday night, is to go ahead and schedule when and what you're going to actually do for the week. And then again, that won't be hanging right over you the rest of the week. Sound good? Anybody have questions? Do we get an extra hour next weekend? Remember that? You know that next Saturday night, we get an extra hour. I know. Gosh, this weather's just sucking.
Amy, can you just type out step by step where you found that? Because I tried doing it when you were talking and I didn't. And the link is great. Thank you. But I want to be able to know how to find that, not just have the link.
Yeah, because there's other stuff in there too. I will do that underneath where I linked it. Is that helpful?
Yeah, that's fine.
I hope what I type is helpful, but I'll try. I will do that.
Okay, and then I have a question about the deal or no deal thing, just to verify this whole thing here.
Well-
So I did post it, and then someone said, picked a number, and then I posted the picture of what they got, and then they said no deal. So do I just type then pick another number?
Yeah, I said, do you want to pick another number?
So what if they don't like any of the deals you give them?
Then you say, thanks for playing.
Okay,
Or-
thank you.
Or what I've done is I've said, thank you so much for playing. Is there anything else that you were interested in product-wise? Or have you, or I've said, it depends on who it is. I've said, are you interested, would you be interested in maybe hosting a party? Because that's when you get the biggest bonus ever. That's the biggest deal, really, is if they hosted a party. Right?
Okay. That's great. You had great words. Can you type those out under your picture? So no, because I'm not going to be the only person that's going to need those responses.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking the same thing.
I'm okay to ask. Yeah.
And,
So-
and do you private message them you
Yeah.
pick number one and then you private message them the number one picture, or you post?
Yeah. Private message. Yeah. So this is this one lady. And so I did it on my phone because we were out today. So I copied all those pictures on my phone because it tends to be easier for me to just pull the picture and pop it on. So I am answering all of my people on there. So I just top thing here says, okay, deal or no deal. And then there's her picture. And then she just came back and said, and it was about the cookware. And she said, frankly, I don't even know where I know this lady. I haven't checked out that cookware. I haven't gotten any Pampered Chef and stuff in a while. Oh, Patty, not hosting a virtual party because then I can tell you about the product. Then you get to learn about them and earn some stuff for free. So what do you mean you haven't gotten Pampered Chef in a while? Why are you even on my Facebook if you don't have any Pampered Chef? Where did you come from? So, yeah, so I will. Okay, so I will do that. While this is downloading, I'll go on and write that under. I'm going to do it under my Team Extreme under there. So you guys, if for directors, you can grab it for your people.
Awesome.
Okay. It is crazy dog hour, but I have one dog sleeping there and this big fluffer mutter. This is sleeping right here next to me. Oh, she's scratching me. She's such a brat. Okay. Now you're picking that. All right. Okay, excuse me. All right. Okay, guys. So thank you guys so much. Let's get to work and have a fabulous week. All right. Good night. Happy birthday, Amy.
Happy birthday, Amy.
Happy birthday, Amy.